What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at the Dark Trooper from Hot Toys, and it is sold out now. For those who are thinking of getting this for free, it's sold or waitlisted, whatever the case may be. But if you're still interested in this, you can head over to bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. So this is, I guess, the week one of the Sideshow free figure that I decided to jump on. I always wanted the Dark Trooper, but waiting for a sale. And even if it was on sale, I didn't want to pick it up. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it at that time, but now having it. But I always had vision on how to utilize the Dark Trooper as far as in my display, in my photography. He is like the Tusken Raider, where he's not a main character, obviously. He's just another trooper or whatever the case may be, that you need some main characters, some complementary characters to have him shine. And lucky for me, I do have Mando and Moff Gideon and Luke Skywalker to partner up with him in terms of my photography. And boy, it wasn't a mistake. Not just because it's free, but even if I paid for this, I can honestly tell you right now, it is a great figure. It's a good figure. I wouldn't say great, but it's a fun figure to have, especially if you do have those complementary characters. Now, it doesn't come with much. It only comes with a few hands. This has been out for what, 2-3 years now, so you've probably seen a ton of review about this figure. I'm just putting out my take on it. At the same time with the Tusken Raider, because I got it for a really good deal. I can't complain whatsoever. Now, if you're still thinking of picking this up and you missed out on the free figure, whatever price you're comfortable with, that's pick it up at your pace, I would say. But it is nice. It's a nice figure. It has limitations, but it's pretty darn good. So we'll take a closer look at the minimal accessories that it comes with. So it comes with two fisted hands. You need that because on a Mando show he was punching the wall and Mando and all that stuff. It does have a trigger finger hand, as you can see here. It is quite loose though. The way he grips the rifle or the blaster that he does have, it's a bit loose. He also comes with this open palm hand. It's not technically open palm, it's kind of like a gripping hand, so to grip the gun so he can hold it with two hands, and also maybe to choke Mando and whatnot. So you have this nice blaster that attaches to his side. I haven't seen this blaster before in any of my troopers. It looks quite nice. It does have some scuffing, weathering on it. You could remove the magazine. I don't know why. I always thought that Star Wars does not use bullets, but if you know why, let me know in the comments. It does come with this graded base, so you can kind of move around this crotch grabber as you wish. I don't know why you would do that, but we'll take a closer look at the armor. So this is a nice glossy finish, but to my surprise, it's not as a fingerprint magnet that I thought it was gonna be. It's glossy, but it's not like a chrome finish, if that makes sense. As you can see, it lights up at the chest area. Now, this was released 3 years ago, so it does not have the USB functionality. Even at the same time, the head sculpt itself, so it can't be USB per se. On the hands, it has a very unique structure. So now this is a robot, a mech, so to speak. So could you use this for other, projects or photography? I used my K2SO with my RoboCop. So as a background, perhaps you can get away making this look like a Sentinel. I don't know, something like that. You use your imagination. But it is nice. I like the way this has designed. You can see those joints as those open, ratcheted sort of gears he does have, and you can hear them. It's kind of scary. I feel like they are metal, but the finish for the figure sounds too plasticky when you're moving them around, so there's a bit of a concern. Now on the back part, this is where the battery compartment is attached, and as you can see, there's a velvet sort of cover, so you don't scratch the back. You're supposed to take that, or you're supposed to take that out. I won't. It's on the back anyway, and it keeps it from scratching, because if I'm taking it on and off, I might as well have it there to protect it. So when I'm turning the battery on and off there. Overall, I like the design. It is kind of boring when you're just staring at it because it's just full black. But once you turn on the lights, then that's where it kind of like, all right, something's going on here. Speaking of the light, you can see right here on his eyes. On the camera, I don't know why it's appearing as a bit orangey, but in person, it's more red than it actually, than what the camera is portraying here. But it's nice. It's nice and bright, and has that red, vibrant look to it. As you can see there, you can probably see me on the background. My light, it because it's so shiny, you can, wipe it if you want to extra shine on this. The dome itself, so the way you turn on the batteries on the dome, it's magnetized. So I'm glad to report that, unlike the compartment on his back, you can see dust though. That's the problem. You can see on this figure because it is pure black and shiny at the same time. So you can't help but see those dust particles. And this is fairly new. I just got this 3 days ago, but handling it and, overall, I like the way this looks. He looks menacing. That mouthpiece right there, it just kind of reminds me like like a Vader, Tusken Raider sort of thing. So we're gonna turn off the lights so you can see how bright the eyes could be. And there you go. Looks pretty cool. And again, at the same time, it's not orangey. I don't know why it's appearing orangey, but see that silhouette right there? That looks pretty cool. That silhouette. Now let's test the articulation. So now this is no Iron Man, and you can see the dome right there. That's where the battery compartment is. Sort of kind of like the Death Trooper, So the head sculpt itself, you can move it around. You can make it look left and right. Just be careful because you don't. Everything is this finish is smooth, so you don't. And if you want to make it, like they're flying, trying to grab Grogu, you could do that as well. The shoulder armor does hinge, so it moves up and down. Same goes for the shoulder pads right here. It moves out of the way if you are making this T-pose. You will never use this pose anyway. You can move the arms forward, maybe not all the way through because of that shoulder panel, but it is, and then on the elbows, you could. The waist is a little too loose for my liking, and I know you could remove this and insert the battle damage one where, just Luke Skywalker crushed it from the DX version. You can swap it out. You could also do this, by 90 degrees. That's all you need though, because they're robots. They don't really need to aim through their eyes if they're shooting on someone. So they're shooting through their hip. This one right here, it moves around as well. So you could pull down the legs, kind of like an Iron Man. This, I thought that the pouches on his belt you could remove, but it just moves around, which is good because now you can't lose them. But I'm glad that it goes up and down. It gives you more range of movement because it hits that, and then you can pull down the legs if needed, and then you could have, well, they don't kneel. I've never seen this, at least on the show, kneel, and then you could move the legs, move some of his ankle as well, and the feet is flat, and the fact that the ankle moves around helps out a lot in balancing this figure if you are not using his base. So that's a pretty good quality right here for this figure. Let's put him in some poses, and these are the other Death Trooper. This is a still from the TV show. I just put it in there just for reference. Of course, it's a different lighting situation. It's a bit darker, and that's CG anyway. But as you can see here, it looks nice. And if you're planning to army build this guy right here, look at that. So holding the rifle itself, he's a robot. So in here, I'm not trying to replicate their pose. I'm trying to have him 1 foot forward, kind of like how he's shooting it. And this is his fight against Mando. Mando using his flame thrower or flame arm, whatever the case may be. I remember that vividly from the show when he tried it, and the guy was just like, "Whoop, not gonna happen." You know, he I don't know what they're built upon, but they're pretty sturdy. If not for Luke, Mando and company would have been cooked in that scene. But yeah, like I said earlier, he looks awesome if you have him interact with other Hot Toys figure that you do have. And speaking of which, what better way to have him pose next to Moff Gideon, the older one at least. It looks good if you want to army build this and you have maybe not even army build. If you want to get a couple, have him flank Moff Gideon, that would look nice as well. My Moff almost fell down, as you can see there, and he's gonna look like he's leaning back for the rest of this video. But regardless, this is a good display option. You know, just have him stand there. I didn't make him hold the rifle like in the previous, just to give him a different look. Just him standing there, just look imposing. You can see the height difference between him and Moff Gideon in this event. And finally, we got him, you know, posed with my Luke Skywalker with a custom robe with wire, and Luke here trying to defend himself and crushing all these guys. That iconic scene from Mandalorian Season 2 is forever gonna, you know, be ingrained in everyone's, you know, heart. Any Star Wars fan, even in the non-fan, would remember that because that is the most badass moment of Luke Skywalker, I would say, in his entire you know, appearance in Star Wars. So that's why you need a Dark Trooper to recreate that. Final thoughts on this figure. It is pretty good. It's not an Iron Man. It feels like an Iron Man. It doesn't have the same heft, but holding it in hand, seeing this mech, this robot, is pretty cool. Have him light up. It gives you a different look, a different, I would say, look from every other stormtroopers that I do have. I'm glad to add him in the collection, especially, and I'm not gonna lie, the price did help. Well, the price is the non-price because it was free. It did help from that promotion from Sideshow. If you are gonna buy it, I would say if you're a Star Wars fan and if you've held out this long, I don't know if Sideshow's gonna make another run because apparently they're waitlisted. Are they gonna get more batch? I don't know. But if not, and you watch this video or maybe other videos and you're like, man, I really want that, don't let that stop you. The fact that it's not, you know, the fact that it's not free anymore. It is a great looking figure. It is a good companion piece. And is it a vital thing? No, you could have a Moff Gideon without him. As a matter of fact, on Mandalorian Season 3, we didn't even see them. We might not even see the Dark Trooper ever again. Who knows? But for those iconic scenes, those iconic moments that he does have, both with Mando and Luke Skywalker, I would say if you're a Star Wars fan, you owe it to yourself to at least get one. At least get one. But let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this figure. Do you have one? How do you display them? Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.